Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to Paperback Parade. And today I am going to talk about the dean of science fiction artists, and that's none other than Kelly Freas, or his full name, Frank Kelly Freas. He was born in 1922 in New York City. However, he grew up in Canada. His parents were photographers, and he became a photographer when he joined out of high school uh, in the Second World War, and he flew reconnaissance planes. I believe it was in the South Pacific, and he did the reconnaissance photography. And then I think in 1950 was his first cover that he did for Weird Tales, and he continued making covers in interior art as well. One of his earliest also was the cover for the hardcover of, or the dust jacket, I should say, for the hardcover collection City by Clifford Simak for Gnome Press. It's a fabulous cover. I do have it here. It's not part of Paperback Parade, obviously, but it's worth showing even so. It's just a fabulous cover. And yeah, he continued on doing covers, like I think over 100 covers for Ace, for Astounding. One of his iconic covers was for an Astounding was a robot, sort of an antiquated looking robot, a huge robot holding a sort of recumbent human in his hand. And that was picked up later in the 70s, and he redid it, sort of almost a reworking of it for Queen's album, News of the World. That would have been mid to late 70s, I believe. And it was a fabulous one to actually, if you actually had the gatefold that it folded out. But let's get back to covers. Now, this one I was a bit surprised to find out it was Kelly Freas, but according on the internet, it is. And that's The World Swappers by John Bruner. It's not that big of a surprise, but it's just I wasn't aware of that one. Well, I wasn't aware of a lot of his because he's done so many iconic covers. Now, the next two he did later in the 80s. These were both done in 1982 for... It's not when the books were published, but or the text, but when Daw put out these editions in 1982, these are the Kelly Freas covers that were done. For The Goblin Reservation by Clifford Simak and Destiny Dawn by Clifford Simak. You'll notice a theme through these, mainly because it's most of the covers I have are books by Clifford Simak and A.E. Van Vogt. So this time we don't get A.E. Van Vogt, but we get Simak. So yeah, so he died in 2005. He was, I believe, the second or third person to be our artist to be inducted into the Science Fiction Hall of Fame. His sort of legacy is continued because he's such he was so big during the time, like 60s and 70s. And so many iconic covers. You just punch up his name on the internet and you'll find dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of pictures that were done by him, and many that are attributed to him that are not him. And there's actually a number of books done. He's one. There's a few artists that there are books. Last week I did Richard Powers, and just as an added extra, I found this one. That's a Richard Powers cover as well. Worlds Without End by Clifford D. Simak. And yeah, there are a few artists that do have covers. That do have books about them, and many that should, but that do not yet have cover books by about them. Getting the words out correct there, Sean. Anyway, I'll end it there, and I'll see you next time for the next Paperback Parade. Thank you.